evening, good evening, good evening. I don't know where you're logging in from, but as you are tuning in, let me know what city, what state, and or what country you may be joining in from. My name is Nina Rochelle Moorer, and I want to welcome you to the Moorer Experience. And so I don't know why it feels like it's been so long since I've been able to see you all. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers who celebrated Father's Day this weekend. And then we want to hello Jessica Brooks from Houston, Texas. We want you all, as you're logging on, to make sure that you're tagging and you're sharing this. Share this live, tag and share. We have some amazing information for you this evening. I've got some great friends that are going to be joining me this evening, and we've got some great information for all of you. Also, for everyone, that celebrated Juneteenth, I will tell you this, it's been a busy weekend, right? Between Father's Day and Juneteenth. Congratulations to all of the fathers. Maybe you're a new father. And then for everyone who celebrated Juneteenth, we say happy Juneteenth to all of you. We're going to talk about freedom today. We're going to talk about financial freedom. We're going to talk about all things money. I see you, Marguerite from Philadelphia, Bridget Jackson from Michigan. I hope to see you this weekend. We've got Deirdre McLeod joining us from Orlando. So as you're logging on, let us know what city, what state, and or what country you may be logging in from. And so I'm going to talk to you guys for a little bit to kind of bring you up to speed as to what we're going to share with you this evening. I see you, Monique Garth Miller. Thank you for joining in. I believe we got Kentucky joining in as well. So we've got people joining us. California, Sonia is joining us from California, and we've got people literally logging on from all over the world. I encourage you all, tag and share this live. I see we've got Miss Elaine McCulley, that's Deborah McCulley, joining us from Florida. We've got Bendy Neville joining in from Buffalo, New York. Oh my goodness. So I think that we've got everywhere, every part of the United States kind of almost. I don't see anybody from the South on here but me. All right, so we need some people. I see Jay Jenkins is on here from New Jersey. Okay, we need some tag and share because tonight the ladies are going to talk all things money. And so I know that there are a lot of people. We got Canada. Canada is officially in the house. We've got Canada joining in this evening. I kind of want to talk, and I need all of you to lean in with me because there's a lot of talk right now about recession. There's a lot of talk right now about winter coming. And I know for most of us, Deborah McCulley, for most of us, Monique, Vindy, Adisa, I see the Carolinas have joined us. We don't really understand that. And we're like, well, wait a minute. Today was the first day of summer. What are we talking about? Winter. And so all of the financial experts are saying that there is winter, that winter is coming. And when they say that winter is coming, that means that winter, meaning recession, is coming. That there's supposedly, if you're following the money trends, when you're looking at the stock markets crashing, right? Literally the numbers. Hello, Delaware. You don't even have to be an expert at the stock market to understand that the numbers in the stock market are plummeting. I mean, honestly, you guys, all you got to know is some simple math, right? You don't have to be an expert in crypto or Bitcoin or NFTs to see that those numbers are doing what? Plummeting. You don't have to be a financial expert to see that gas prices are going higher and higher and higher. You don't have to be a financial expert to understand, LJ, Nikki, that when you go to the grocery store and you spend $100, you don't even have enough food to feed your family for what? 3 or 4 days, right? $100 used to get us at least a week's worth of groceries to feed a moderate sized family. You don't have to be a financial expert to understand that there's something that has gone on in the economy. So let me explain a little bit. And we talked about recession 2 weeks ago, right, Adisa? We talked about the fact that Here's what happened so that all of you can, let's bring you up to speed. So the pandemic, that's right, the pandemic forced everyone to be home. Now, while everyone was forced, Pamela Jean Hill, while we had all of these people who were forced to be home, what happened, Nicola Barnes? Hello, New York is in the house. We got Philly in the house. We got New York. Here's what happened. The government started giving out money. They started giving out stimulus checks. Kendra Wilson, thank you. See, Kendra's in the house, y'all. Y'all know what she gonna do, right? Tag and share. What happened was stimulus checks started being given out. Well, then what happened is what? PUA loans, PPP loans. And there were people that had a whole lot of money to spend when guess what? There wasn't enough products to purchase. So people had a whole lot of money. The demand for products were high, but no one was able to go to work. That money was a setup. That's right. That's right. So this recession that we're experiencing, and for those of you who think that a recession is coming, and if you say, if it says Facebook user, I don't really know who you are, so can you type your name in the comment section so I can say hello to you? Leanna Geldar, Tangeline Lewis, Corey Moore, hello. This was all a setup. And guess what? I'm not here to talk political affiliations. I'm not here to say whether you should be a Democrat or a Republican, right? All I'm here to tell you is this. We're blaming a lot of stuff on different people. And I'm here to tell you that it was all a setup. Because even the person that is president right now didn't give out all that stimulus money, didn't give out all the PPP money, didn't give out. And I'm not here to root for one or the other. All I'm saying is pay attention. That all of that was set up as a prelude to the after pandemic, because someone is going to be running for office again, and they had to set it up to make it look like they could come in and be the savior. Anyway, all right. So I'm just saying, you better stay woke, right? Stay woke. So of course they could predict what was going to happen with the prices of gas because they set it up. Okay. Do y'all get it? Okay, so anywho. So the pandemic happened, right? And people had a whole lot of money to spend, but there were no products. There were no goods. Thank you. There were no goods. So the demand was high, but production was low. Guess what that caused? Financial recession. I want y'all to understand. Demand was high. Product was low. Thank you. I'm going to tell y'all who did my hair in a moment, right? Demand was high. Product was low. Did y'all hear that? No one was in the factories to make the products. There were no chips for the cars. Demand was high. Products were low. And guess what? We were in the markets today. Guess what was missing in the markets? Food. Do you all notice that this is all a setup? Do you also notice that the produce is not lasting as long as it used to? Do you notice that onions, everything, where onions, let's think about it. We could have a bag of onions. They might have lasted us for almost a month, you guys. Y'all remember those days? Where now an onion will last us what? Maybe 2 weeks? Okay, so we're going to talk all things money. And we're going to talk about some things that might be uncomfortable to all of us. Have you all noticed that lettuce is $2 a head of lettuce? That's half the size that a head of lettuce used to be. Do you all notice that? Okay. I went to the market and I had 8 small items and it was almost $70 today. Do you all notice that things like creamer? Matter of fact, yesterday, the young lady checking me out at the market today said they had no milk yesterday. Did y'all hear what I said? She said the market, they had no milk. Okay. Anywho, so we want to talk all things money. And you know what? I want you all to go grab a notebook, grab a pen, because I've got two girlfriends that are going to join me this evening, and we're going to have some financial conversations. So if you hear some dinging, we're in the living room, right? If you hear some dinging, that's probably Zara's bells on her neck, or perhaps even the front door. Okay. And so wait a minute. Do you see this? Food. A green head of lettuce was $2.79. Do you all know we used to be able to get a head of lettuce for like not even $1, like 89 cents? And now it's like $2. It was on sale today for $1.49, but it's normally $2 or more for a head of lettuce. So I took those produce back to Sam's. They were big mad. Guess what? That's right. Guess what? If your produce is not lasting, take it back. Take it back. All right. So the first girlfriend that I'm bringing to the line with me this evening is actually from the West Coast, but she happens to have moved to the South in Georgia. She lives about 2 hours south of us in Warner Robins, but she's getting ready to move a little bit closer, maybe about an hour closer to us. And this young lady is one of the heads at a bank. I'm not going to call the name of the bank, but I'm going to just tell you that she's been there. She's going to tell her story, but she's a mom. She's a single mom. And she understands money and finance. And so I need you all to put your virtual hand claps together, your snaps, your hearts in the comments for Ms. Jasmine Blake, who's going to join us this evening. We're going to have a girlfriend talk. Hey, doesn't she look amazing? So I got a lot of compliments on my hair.
Oh,
she did it. She did it. She did hers. She did mine. And she did Paige's. We'll probably get Paige to come give us a cameo so you guys can see her hair. All right, come on, Paige is going to give us a cameo real quick. And she did Paige's. No, they can't see you. They can't see you, boo. They can't see you. All right, there you go. All right, there you go. All right, crochets, come on. Don't even look like it, all right? All right, so Jasmine Blake, before we get started, thank you so much for agreeing to be on here with me. Would you tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what you actually do?
Absolutely.
And how long you've done it?
Absolutely. Well, before I even start talking about me, I got to always give it back to my mentor, Mrs. Nina Rochelle Moore. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on your podcast. I'm so excited. So, just to tell you a little bit about myself. So again, my name's Jasmine Blake. I am from the West Coast, from California. Been in Georgia since 2008. I am a proud mother of 3, 27, 24, and 13. I just got a 13-year-old, you guys.
Just like a couple days ago.
Like a couple days ago,
right.
For real. And a grandmother of 3. So, life is great. It's amazing. Like she said, I am a single parent. So it's been very important for me to understand, even before I got into finance, but to understand how important money was and money management is, okay? But now I am in finance. Like she said, I am a small business banker for a very renowned bank. I've been doing that for 6 years, you guys. And I work with our consumers along with our small business owners to be able to set their businesses up for success.
Properly.
Exactly.
Properly. Not like I'm starting a business and just because we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then I got a real treat for you all in just a moment. And so here's what's so important. You're in banking. You see all of it. You see people come in and they make quadruple or more than what you even make. And you're handling their finances.
Absolutely.
Right? I want to talk a little bit more about business banking because I know that there are a lot of entrepreneurs that follow me or people who want to pursue being an entrepreneur. And we're not biased. We love the men, but we really are. We have a heart for women. So if it feels like we're talking a little bit more to women, I think it just comes from our own struggle, right? Being
Absolutely.
a single mom, and single moms and women in general, we may have the skill sets that a lot of men have, but we're often underpaid. We're often right. So we have even now. Okay. So, I think when we were talking earlier and I was talking about people who start businesses and things like that, and then they run their businesses right out of their debit card or they run their businesses right out of their checking account. What would you say are just from your experience and some of the things that you see, And I watched you. I witnessed your phone ring today with a client. You're on vacation, but you still took the time out to speak with one of your clients today to make sure that they were okay and reassured him that, hey, you are not bothering me.
Right.
Because it's more than just somebody opening up an account with you. But can you give some of the top no-nos or some of the top things that you see as major, like don't do it when people are looking to go into business, when they come to open up an account with you? What are a lot of the trends or the things that you see as the things that people don't have in order before they come to you?
Absolutely. So the number one question I always ask is, what's the structure of your business? So are you a sole proprietor? Are you an LLC? Are you in a corporation? So sometimes clients don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay. They just come in to open up an account. Okay. So the number one thing is you want to be able to keep your business separate from your personal finances. So the number two reason behind that is because number one, it's going to help you for your taxes, give you so many different write-offs that you can use. But number two, it's going to be able to help either your tax preparer, your accountant, whoever you're working with, to itemize your finances, to be able to really understand, right, what you've spent your money on.
Right.
Because when you have a personal account, now you got to go through yourself, pull receipts, do this and the third. It's just such a headache versus just setting it up correctly at first and opening you up a business account, right? So also with that said is, a lot of times you don't know, you can get a EIN number, which is an employee identification number from the IRS for free. You can do it right online at irs.gov, create that EIN number, okay? And then also you can go to the Secretary of State wherever you live, and you can actually get a LLC or however you would like to structure your business. So I don't want to get too deep into that. I would say definitely do your homework to know what type of structure you would like your business to be. But the main thing is those three things. Know the structure that you want your business in, have your EIN number, and also, get your bank account set up.
Wow. So we will bring someone on to help differentiate sole proprietor, corporation, LLC, because I get a lot of those questions as well. And I'm not an expert in that area. I just know what I've done. And I actually, just for me, because I didn't want any issues, I actually paid to have someone set mine up. And it was not expensive, but I wanted to make sure that it was done right. I actually sat down, my husband and I sat down with him for him to explain what the differences were, what percent, if you're opening up an LLC with someone, the percentages, right? I know, right? You're like percentages, right? Yeah, the percentages of the bit. What percentage of the business do you want to say that you own versus the other partner, right?
And just so you know, be very specific with that partnership, because if you go to open up a bank account, you got to have at least 25% ownership of that business. If you have less than that, you cannot open up a bank account, not with the bank that I bank with.
Not with any bank, because we've been to some others and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You have to have at least 25% to even go on the bank account.
To
go on the bank account. And so I know that a lot of people probably come to you and they just be like, oh, I started my business, in my kitchen, cooking my pies or whatever, and they don't have anything structured or anything like that. What are some of the things that separating your money could save you from?
Legalities, legal issues. Okay. Not only that, it can save you time. I don't know about y'all, but time is very important to business owners. Y'all don't have time. You don't take days off. You don't, you're always working. So you need to be able to, number one, have either a merchant account, also ADP, which is payroll. Okay. Because remember, you pay yourself, right? So you want to make sure you have your ADP set up. That's going to save you time. If you got employees, what about direct deposits? Making sure they're paid. There's so many layers to the onion. And this is the thing. A lot of small business owners do not know that. And that's why it's important when you go to a bank to set up a business account that you at least know the basics, so that you're not surprised with some of the things that they throw at you. But like, take for example, some of our, Taba family, they need to be able to accept credit cards. I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you were able to accept credit cards, say at a pop-up shop, a vendor event, what have you, that can increase your business by 35%. A lot of people do not even have a little handheld card swiper, and that can, some people just use a credit card for everything. And if you're not prepared, you just could have potentially lost a sale. So you want to make sure your merchant accounts are set up, your ADP is in line. It's not just opening up a checking account and having a debit card.
So that you could say, I got a business account. Mm-hmm. I'm in business. Right. There's so much more to being in business. And I will tell you this, that these are things that I had to learn the hard way. Let me just say it like that, because no one sat us down. Nobody. So here's the deal. The African-American community, you guys, I don't know why we're so afraid to talk about money. And I believe that is something that's been passed down
it wasn't
from generations, because it has not been taught. Mm-hmm. And so, you remember the other day when you and Jalen got here and I said, oh, we were down at the cul-de-sac party, and even the language is different, because we have it, and this is not a braggadocious statement. I'm bragging on God. I'm never bragging on myself. I'm not one of them people that, I'm operating off of ego, but it's almost like in order to live in this development that we're in, the people know that you've got to be earning a certain kind of income to even live out here. And so to live in this development, then you know that you're around people who have businesses, have great, jobs, great income. Matter of fact, one of the gentlemen that live in this development that we're in was a very small development, but he is the VP of Kennesaw State University. Wow. And so you never know who you've got, like right here in your environment with you. But you guys got to understand that just because it wasn't taught in our community doesn't mean that we shouldn't take some time to educate ourselves. And instead of watching Netflix series, instead of binge watching, right? How about watching some things that can help to educate you on financial structures and on some information that you need to understand about your business, understand the differences between sole proprietorship, corporations, right? LLCs, and whether you should have one or the other. Most of you will not need a corporation. Let's just say that. Most of you won't, right? A small business, you probably won't need that. But you definitely need to know whether or not you just need to open up just so that you can have another business entity, whether you could just do it as a sole proprietor or not. And so, yes, become the cycle breaker in your family and in your generation, so that you'll know. And these are things that Paul and I are still learning. I'm so grateful that he likes to know this information. I don't, but one of us got to know it. Right. One of us got to know it so that we're not operating out of ignorance, because that's the problem. And I'm certain that you see that quite often, that most people go ahead and talk about
even established businesses, believe it or not, they come in, they've already had their business accounts with us, but they're still a sole proprietor after years. Okay. Or they're still, it's not even a business account. They're running their business from a personal account. I see it quite often. Okay. And it's my job to be able to give them the information and the reasons behind why you need to have a business account, because they get comfortable. Keep in mind too, if it works in their mind as business owners, why fix it? Right? But times are steadily changing. So maybe at that time, 10 years ago, it was okay to have it like that.
Wow.
So, like she said, even the most skilled person that feels they know everything and their business is amazing and all is going well, guess what? They still can learn something. Self-development is so important, even as a business owner. So, I'm sure there's several people that's on the live now, that may have their personal businesses, and they're probably running it out of a personal checking account. So I would say your first assignment would be to, get you a business account. Okay. Make sure your business is structured correctly.
But you got to get an EIN first.
You got to get the EIN.
You cannot
first.
open up a business account without having an employee identification number.
Correct.
That is like your social security number as a business operator, right? For your business.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you this, you guys, I don't care whether you've got like an online boutique. I don't care whether you selling pies out your house. I don't care whether you're a braider. I don't care whether you are an evening dancer. I don't care whether listen, set up a business account.
Yes.
Okay. Get an EIN first, set up a business account. There are so many benefits, you guys, running a home-based business.
Yes.
You need to know that. And here's the reality. There are some, we're gonna bring another specialist on in just a few minutes, in about 5 minutes. She's getting ready. She's here now, you guys. There are so many benefits to having what you may all be calling your little side hustle or whatever. I don't care if it's jewelry that you make. I don't care if it's, like I said, pies. I don't care if it's soaps, whatever the case may be. You're a small business owner. There are so many perks that you could have access to, right? Get an EIN and a business account. Now,
Can I be candid?
Yes, go ahead.
So she hit it on the nail. So as I spoke earlier, I said I was a single parent, you guys. And she also stated that I have, I work with people that have businesses that they are making way more money than me. But the reality of it for me from the very beginning was that I knew as a single mom that I needed to have a second stream of income, right? And so if it wasn't for that second stream of income, I wouldn't be able to have the lifestyle that I have. There's some things that I wouldn't have been able to do for my kids, So when I tell you having that home-based business, it can save a lot of people's lives. It can change people's zip codes. Okay. So look at it from so many different levels.
Yeah.
It has helped me so much.
Yeah. Now, and you all may need to establish business credit at some point. Yes. I'm certain that you're going to need that. Well, yes. If you don't even have the fundamental set up, like an EIN number and a business account, and you're doing business out of your business account, and you've got money going into that business account on a regular basis, then guess what? You will never be able to establish business credit. And I want to share something with you guys. A lot of credit cards right now, and I know that, we're taught don't ever use your credit card. That's a bad thing. But it's not, right? When you know how to utilize your credit properly.
I tell my clients, you use the credit card. Don't let the credit card
use you. Okay. So if you're going to buy groceries anyway, right? Put it on your credit card because you get perks for using your credit card. Go ahead and pay the bill off. Pay it right off. You were gonna buy those groceries anyway.
Right.
But you get points and perks, and you gotta go and see now what are the perks that you get from your credit cards, because you can utilize those perks for free stuff.
Yep.
Gas points, travel. Like I just got $75 with my with one of my Chase cards back because I booked my airline tickets with the credit card. And I got to travel every year. You get a travel voucher. You get very nice rewards. You don't even have to call them and say, hey, I booked my travel. It automatically picks it up. And immediately there was $75 transferred right to a payment on my card just because I booked airline tickets with that credit card. There are nice perks that you get. You just have to teach yourself to be disciplined.
Yeah.
To not just be out willy-nilly and let me just go buy this bag and let me go here and let me go there. But even today, I took Paul, we took him out for Father's Day. I used the credit card and I sat there and paid it today. The entire dinner, paid it right off because I was going to use cash anyway. So if I was going to use cash anyway, then why not use the credit card? Because now that showed as a dining perk on my credit card, and now you get perks. So the only people that have a negative mindset about credit cards are the people who abuse them.
Correct. or just don't understand.
Just don't understand how credit works. Yeah.
Yeah. And think about this. It reports to Duns and Bradstreet. Okay. You know, like my bank, we work with them to help establish business credit. So ideally, you want to get a cash rewards card. You want to think of it in a way too. It's like, this is free money that you're getting. Okay. So say you make $40, $50 a month times 12. That's free money by you just swiping the card on stuff, everyday purchases that you were going to do anyway.
I'm telling you, your gas. Don't use your debit card.
No, just from a safety standpoint too.
Exactly.
We've seen fraud at an all-time high. We tell our clients this all the time. So ideally, if you can use a credit card and then just pay yourself back, you would much rather that credit card be compromised versus your actual account, right? Because they're going to give you your money back right away. In your personal accounts, there's a little bit more, you know, that you got to go through. Yeah. So
it's hell.
Ideally, if you can use a credit card, that would be the best way.
That would be the best way. So I think that you all got some great tips because these are things that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
And you know what is sad is that these would be the views that are low because people don't really want to talk about money. They don't want to really hear about this. And they would rather, you know, a lot of us, I know that I used to not want to listen to this kind of stuff, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm very excited. In August, there is a financial conference coming here called InvestFest that EYL Earn Your Leisure holds. And I feel like people ask me, Juanita, are you going on vacation this year? And I said, I don't live a life that I got. What did I say?
She said, I don't feel like I have a life that I have to vacation from.
That's number one.
Okay.
That's number one.
And she felt like, you know, she's not where she needs to be vacationing. She got work to do.
That's what I said.
That's an entrepreneur.
Yeah, because I feel like once you complete, last year we vacationed a lot.
Yeah. You just
but
did a major move.
Right, we just did a major move. We're in recoup mode from that. But Paul and I are very excited about this conference that we're going to for the first time. Well, not for the first time, because I've always gone to like mindset things and things, but to sit in a financial conference, guess what? That I'm taking Paige to as well. Now she'll probably have like her tablet and stuff like that so that she'll, you know, not be like all jacked up, but I am excited about being in a room full of other people like-minded who care more about their finances and their financial future, right? Than bags and cars and y'all get it, right? Y'all get it. Shoes and not that those. Listen, I don't mind those things. We all want nice things, but you guys got to understand. You can never, ever spend more than you make. Don't ever spend more than you earn. All right. And so I honestly believe that us talking about this, and we're going to continue to talk about this, and have people come on and educate you about different things that you need to know so that you're operating in a proper way, right? So that winter is coming and that you're not feeling the brunt of winter. Yeah. When you know how winter hits and you're like, oh, I wasn't prepared for that storm. We're trying to prepare you now for what's coming. So how much will it cost? If they wanted to start a business, see, they think they need millions of dollars.
Nope.
Talk to them about how much it costs to start a business again.
All I need is 2 forms of ID, that being your driver's license, and then second form of ID could be a credit card, debit card, anything like that with your name on it. I need $100 to open up the account. And you get access to the money right away. So you're putting it in there, but you're going to get a digital debit card. So you're going to be able to use the money right then and there if you need to. So yeah, that is absolutely it.
See, there you go. Mm-hmm. So,
and I just have to say, you said something to me earlier about leveling up. And you guys, I'm going to say this. She said it in four sentences, basically. Leveling up mentally, spiritually, physically, but most importantly, financially. If you can hit all those 4 buckets, you're winning. You're winning in all aspects of your life. Mentally, spiritually, physically, and most importantly, financially.
See, because I believe that it's full circle. And if you get your mind right, you get your spiritual right, get those 2 things right. Mm-hmm. Everything else can fall in place.
I'm a testament.
When the money comes, you won't abuse it when the money comes, right? And sometimes we're praying, right? And it's not that God doesn't hear us, but we're praying and he's saying, well, you showed me what you did with what I gave you. You weren't a good steward.
Yes.
And so I gotta be careful what I give you when I give it to you. ST Bizzle, right there go STB.
Hey.
I gotta be careful what I give you when I give it to you because you showed me that you're not a good steward. And so just know that leveling up, right, has to encompass all of those facets. All right, so y'all give it up for Miss Jasmine Blake, you guys. Yes. All right, so our next guest. She's going to exit left, right, and we're going to bring our next guest to the line, to the sofa, to the white sofa. We don't have the red table. We've got the white sofas, right? We're going to bring. It's okay. Just plug it back in. We're going to bring our next guest to the line, you guys. Guess what? Who is all things real estate. So you can just leave those right there. Yep. So if you're looking to level up by buying a home, Maya Shows, right, is your girl.
Oh my gosh.
I got a margarita for you after this, right?
Okay,
Look.
I got a margarita waiting. It is Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Look, if you're in Atlanta, everybody's got braids right now. Right. Okay.
It's really hot.
Okay, you know what?
It's
We're gonna
so
let
hot.
Paige sit over here with us, okay, you guys?
Okay.
I think that she love her some Maya.
We all have our praise. You see?
Yes, we do, because it's really, tomorrow they tell me it's gonna be 100 degrees tomorrow.
I did hear
What?
that.
Yeah, that's what they
Triple
said.
digits.
So triple digits tomorrow, not feel like 100, but actually be 100 tomorrow, because it's already felt like 105, 102.
Exactly.
But tomorrow they're saying like dangerous heat. If you don't have to go out, well, you can't be out for long periods of time. Chemicals are released and all kinds of stuff that we learned this morning listening to the.
Because I have a lot of stuff I have to do tomorrow.
So you got to be careful.
Okay.
It's going to be super hot
I'm
tomorrow.
gonna pack some ice water and like a cooler and be prepared.
You got to do that in Georgia anyway. She's driving around all day. So let me give you a little background on Miss Maya, you guys. We've been friends for quite some time. We met through another company that I was in, and we remained friends. And back in 2018, when we really thought that was going to be our time to move to Georgia, Maya started taking Paul and I out to look at houses, and immediately, like in the process, God was like, "It ain't time." Yeah. And you know what? I'm actually so glad that it happened the way that it did, because we didn't know the pandemic was coming. That's
that's right.
We didn't know the pandemic was coming. And we may not have been in a good place, with the shifts that took place within our businesses, like we transitioned to other businesses and things like that. But you made our transition a lot simpler. It wasn't easy, but it was, but it wasn't. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard either. It wasn't hard.
It wasn't a challenge.
Sometimes
it could be a challenge, and you hear about people move and they have different challenges they had to overcome.
Right.
You probably wouldn't describe it as a challenge.
I cannot. But I believe who you deal with has a whole lot to do with your outcome as well. And so Maya is our realtor.
Yes.
Yay! And I'm always referring her. I'm just texting her like prospect. They're calling you, right?
Let me tell you, she go call and she listen. If I don't answer, because sometimes I may be on the phone with someone else, she is texting like, "Hey, I got a prospect," so she know I'm gonna call her as soon as I can. And I love that about Nina. As real estate agents, we do love referrals, and when entrepreneurs, we love referrals. When we run a referral-based system, it is important that clients and past clients just let people know, "Hey, I got a real estate agent for you," so I do appreciate you and Paul for that.
So can you at least let them know who you are, how long you've been a realtor, why did you choose real estate? Let everybody know who you are.
Okay, well, everyone, I am Maya Shows, and I go by Maya Shows Homes. And a lot of times people ask me, "Is Shows really your name?" Yes, that is my name. So I do believe that God, I was made, and it's my destiny to come into real estate. I've been a real estate agent in Atlanta for about 7 to 8 years. That seems like so crazy, because it seems like yesterday that I moved to Atlanta. I work with a brokerage called the Atlanta Key Firm. We are one of the newest Black-owned brokerages in the Metro Atlanta area, in which I also serve as the Vice President of Sales. So I also help other agents with their business, and that is just a blessing to be able to help others. So the reason that I got into real estate was crazy.
I had recently moved to Atlanta after college to be with my mom after my dad passed away. And God had gave me a vision that was so clear. He was like real estate. He gave me a name, shows, homes, realty, and that it would be a business for me and my family. And I was like, I cannot tell my mom that I'm going this, that I just went to school for health science, that I'm going to go into real estate. So I went ahead and went on with my career, went into the health industry. And I got to a point where I really wasn't satisfied, Nina. I didn't feel like I was living my life's purpose. Like, even though I was doing very well, making really good money, had freedom, I didn't feel like I was living my purpose. Like and it was causing me to really kind of go through a depression. And my sisters began to notice it. They're like, Maya, something is, going on with you. And God, he revealed to me like one morning I was at work and he was like, remember the vision I gave you? And I said, okay, God. So I went ahead and I enrolled into real estate school and I got my real estate license. And that is what brought me here. It's something that I truly love to do. I do real estate full time. I specialize in, I started off specializing with first time home buyers, which I still do. But lately, since the pandemic, one of my specialties have been helping individuals relocate to Atlanta. I've had clients who have purchased a home that have not seen a home in person. I have designed homes, went to the build with new construction homes. Sometimes you have the opportunity to design your home. I've done that for clients. It has been a load of responsibility, but it has been so rewarding because during the pandemic, some people didn't feel comfortable traveling. And I just feel honored that people trusted me. Like, you guys trusted me, like to be able to help you pick out the home. And I'm just so grateful.
Oh, no, it was crazy. We had to do a lot of stuff virtually.
Yes, we did.
Because even though I came
Thank God for Zoom
a few times, and some of the places you went, signal was bad, and we had to keep trying to reconnect and things like that.
It's nothing worse than getting to a house and you cannot reach your client because the signal is so bad, and you just have to take a video at that point.
That's what happened to a few properties. But oftentimes I believe that, especially as African American woman, I know for me, I was scared to death with the whole process. And Paul and I had purchased a home in Philadelphia. We sold it back in 2020, I believe it was. We sold the home. We had an awful tenant, and we kind of knew that we were going to be relocating. And we just, the headache that we had with her, it was like, you know what? But a lot of people are very afraid to purchase homes because there was a time when if you didn't have a 700 or above credit score, don't even think about buying a house. So can you talk a little bit about that and how you're able to help people?
Yeah, so thank God times have changed, and you do not have to have a 700 credit score. You don't have to have a large down payment. So for most programs, like FHA or conventional, they start off wanting you to at least have a minimum of a 580 credit score. Now, typically, I tell my clients, we want to get your credit score higher than that, but 580 is probably a good time to go ahead and call myself or a local real estate agent and say, hey, I'm ready to start the process. At this point in time, I would typically connect you with a lender. I have a group of lenders that I work with that offer different programs to fit you and your situation. From there, the lender will say, hey, these are some things. After running your credit and looking at your profile, they're going to look at your debt to income ratio. So how much money you make versus how much debt that you have. They're also going to look at your credit score. So they will say, hey, there are some things that you can do to increase your credit, 20 points, or, sometimes it's just 7 points, sometimes it's 50 points. And they're going to help you kind of develop a strategic plan to get to your goal, which is home ownership. So some of the programs that we have, some lenders have a wonderful program that offers 100% financing. And this can be an FHA or a conventional loan. And the difference between a loan, and I have to remind myself that these terms, I have to break these terms down. So FHA is a loan that is insured by the federal government, and it has insurance that is attached to it that lasts the lifetime of the loan. With conventional, it will fall off at 20% equity. So that's the difference of it. but you have the opportunity to purchase it. You could purchase a home with 100% financing, and the only thing that you have to worry about is your closing costs, which is typically about 3.5% of the purchase price, and just paying for like your inspection and your appraisal. So let's say I'm gonna pull out my calculator. Let's say you're purchasing a house, you're a first-time home buyer, you're purchasing a house for $250,000. I would say that you probably want to save about 10,000. 10,000. That's how much it's going to require for you to put down if you are able to qualify for a 100% financing program. Where most cases, if you're not, that's going to look more so like $20,000. So this is really helping some individuals that I'm working with right now get into home ownership when they didn't really feel like it was realistic. I had a young lady that was just approved. She's actually from Philly. She's actually from Philly, and she was just approved a couple of weeks ago, and she was just like in tears, like Maya, like she called me and it was late, but she texted me and said that she was approved. And I try not to answer. I'm trying to develop a work-life balance. But I knew that she was calling me because she was excited. We both was on the phone crying because that's something that she felt like wasn't attainable with her. But they have some programs now that can help you get to home ownership sooner and not have to break the bank. Or sell your soul.
Or sell your soul. So I know right now, we're in some crazy times.
It is.
We're in some crazy times where buyers are kind of like benefiting right now.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, I'm sorry, sellers are really benefiting right now. A lot. Not that people aren't buying, people are buying, you guys, but they're offering way more than what the house is. They're asking for the house because houses are in demand, inventory is low, which is just like everything else in the world right now.
Just like everything else, supply and demand, it's just how it works, man. Supply runs low and the demand is high, prices are going to increase. And that's the same thing what's going on in the market. Inventory is low, so that means that we have a lot more people that are looking to purchase a home than people who are looking to sell their home. Builders are backed up, like they don't have enough land to develop the property. Even if they have a development, they don't have enough material to be able to build the homes. They also are, we're having issues with workers, like builders being able to have contractors come and build the property. So this is causing definitely a high demand, a backlog. And even with new construction, typically the turnaround is like 6 months. I've seen it to where it's like 10 to 12 months sometimes, and that's because inventory is so low because of some other issues that each industry is experiencing.
Right. Wow. So typically you guys, so are there other options for people? Are there other options? Let's just say a person, is thinking, well, I'm sick of apartment living, right? I need something else, but I'm not quite ready. Put your foot there, baby. Not quite ready. I don't know if I want ownership yet. I may not have $20,000 to put down. Is there another option for them?
Yes, it is. So if you're done renting or you don't want to live in an apartment anymore, but you desire a home and you want to get closer to home ownership, we do have programs called Rent with the Option to Purchase. And there are a couple of different companies that are out there in Atlanta, and some of these companies are nationwide that allow you to actually get into a home with the option of purchasing at the end of your lease. This is really a good program for individuals who, like you said, may not necessarily have the money, may not necessarily have the mindset. Yeah, like I can't really, my mind is not ready to actually make that commitment. This is also great for people who are relocating. Oftentimes I have people call me and they say, hey, Maya, I want to move to Atlanta, but I'm kind of nervous about buying because I don't know exactly where I want to live. I said, well, hey, you know what? Actually, renting with the option to purchase may be the best program for you at this time, because at the end of your lease, you have the option to purchase the home, rent again, or you have the option to move. And this program is like significantly less. It's typically you're paying about like 1% of the purchase price. It just depends on the program, and it's based on your credit. Some of the programs start off with 550, some is a 500 credit score. When I meet with my clients, I have a consultation with you, and I do analysis of what's the best situation for you, and I could best guide you on what steps to take next, and what program could ultimately get you the home that you're looking for.
So they're like, I remember just talking to other people, like before we went through the process of purchasing a home, there was so much information, and there are a lot of people that try to scare you away from home ownership because it is evasive.
Mm-hmm.
It's very evasive.
Yeah.
This is just as major as the decision that you made to get married, honestly, because this is a relationship, a partnership that you, when you're looking for a home, it is really just that big of an, it's
it
important.
Really is. I never thought about it like that, but it is. It's definitely one of the major decisions you're going to make in life. It's such a major financial purchase. It's very different from a car, and people like to equate it to a car. I'm like, no, typically you're not buying a 6-figure car. You know, you're not doing that.
So would you maybe suggest to somebody who is getting their feet wet, they've been renting for a long time, let's just say they were accustomed to paying $1,500 a month. Our rent is really high now. I know you can't even rent an apartment now for like less than $2,000 a month. Would you suggest, what amount of house would you suggest a person who's been paying $1,500 to $2,000 a month in rent? What is the number that you would suggest they kind of look at so that they can not stretch themselves too far from what they've been accustomed to?
So if they want to stay around that number. So typically I tell people, and I'm just going to be honest with you, that if you think about an apartment, that's a smaller space, right? And then you think about, okay, now I have a whole house. I'm not sharing a wall with anyone. Even if you're in a townhome, you're only sharing a wall with one person. That you do have to prepare. You're probably going to have to spend a little bit more money.
Right.
And I do have to have that realistic conversation with individuals, because I'm looking at now, especially in the Metro Atlanta area, which is what I specialize in, we're starting off probably around like $1,800. Depending on if you're doing rent with the option of purchase or you're doing a loan, because loans are about at 6% now. So interest rates have gone up since last year. I know a lot of people are used to hearing the 3%, but we're at the 6%. But I still think it's advantageous for people to seek home ownership because it will allow some stability. Renting is a variable that you can't control,
right?
Unless you're unless you have a lease where it's actually in writing how much your rent will increase, you know, every year. That's an uncontrollable variable that you really don't have any control over. And with I think I read that in the Metro Atlanta area, apartments have rose about 30%. They were saying that in some areas it has been as high as 80%. Some areas in like South Atlanta, things like that. So it's making it challenging for individuals. And with home ownership, I think the greatest thing about having home ownership is have something that's yours, but you have something that you have the opportunity to make money from. And one of those things that you're able to make money from is equity. So let's say, after a year or two, you have lived in your home and values have continued to increase as they are projected to increase, especially in a market like Atlanta that's very desirable. We have a lot of companies still coming to the area. We have individuals coming to the area. A lot of development is coming to the Metro Atlanta area, which makes it so desirable, especially with having one of the largest airports in the world, Hartsfield-Jackson. So you have the opportunity when you decide to sell your home to make money. So a lot of times in this market, sellers are getting 6-figure checks.
Yeah.
But this is the other thing too that I thought was just such a great thing for homeowners. When the pandemic first hit, and a lot of people were afraid, a lot of people were, getting laid off. People were able to leverage the equity in their home to refinance and be able to stay in their home, but not have to stress out about finding a job, but be able to stay afloat. home ownership allows you some flexibility. It allows you to leverage. It allows you the opportunity to invest in something and be able to leverage it when time gets hard. And I think that's the biggest thing that we're not really taught within our community,
Right.
is the other value of home ownership. And I think that's the biggest thing that I just don't hear people mention enough.
I don't hear it at all. Tax write-offs, right?
Tax
Write-off, especially if
Yes.
you're running a home-based business. You know what? So there's another thing that I learned. I went to a class when Paul and I were looking to purchase our first property, the one that we sold. And I found out that having a side business, having a home-based business, having another small
Yes.
business, especially something like direct sales and network
Yes.
marketing, actually helps you because it shows as another stream of income.
It does.
So can you talk a little bit about that? 'Cause
Yes.
we don't talk about that enough
No,
either.
no,
All of the
we don't.
benefits, right?
So that is really a great benefit. And actually, I had a situation like this come up recently. I had a client who had a side business that she had been running for at least maybe about 3 years, and that she was doing her taxes on. And this was extra money that she was able to say, hey, the lender, aside from her 9 to 5, because she did have a 9 to 5, the lender asked, okay, so do you have any other income? Do you have any other assets? And she was able to use that to be able to allow her to be able to afford about $50,000 more of a house. That put her in a different type of market of a house. You know, a $50,000 difference can really change you from looking at a 3-bedroom to a 4-bedroom in some areas. And it's a zip code. And it really helped to change her situation. And that's some of the things that people don't think. You have to start getting creative with making yourself marketable to even lenders, right? Because they want to make sure that you are a great candidate, and having those multiple streams of income allows you to do so. And like one of the things that you said with the tax write-offs too, because she was able to, I'm pretty sure she was able to put in her taxes that, hey, she was operating out of her apartment that she was staying in. And she was also about her business. She did her taxes. I know a lot of times we don't like to claim that extra money, but you know, if you hire the right tax professional or educate yourself, but hire a professional, they would educate you on how to do your write-offs so that you can, you know, still be attractive to a lender.
Be attractive. So that's why I thought it was important to have Jasmine and you talk, because we just don't do business right a lot of times. And listen, the reality of it is because we never knew how.
Yeah.
We didn't have examples. Like our parents weren't big business gurus who sat down and taught us about, you know, putting money up or getting an LLC, getting an EIN, getting a, you know, because honestly, Paul and I were talking recently about even getting an EIN for Paige, right? So that she grows up with a business.
Yeah.
She grows up with it. And we were talking today, and I know that we were talking more about health this morning, right? She a boss anyway. But we were in the gym, and when we were in the gym, there are tons of teenagers that come to the gym that we go to, tons, like every day, and they're working out. And the reason why, and I'm not just talking about the health part of this, the wellness part of this. What I'm talking about is the fact that their parents took them to the gym.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it was a lifestyle. It was like it was taught in their culture.
Yes.
It was part of their life.
It's embedded.
It's embedded.
It's their lifestyle.
Right. Well, in the African American community, it is not embedded in our lifestyle to talk about health, to show it, to talk about money, to talk about finance. We weren't taught that kind of stuff. And school is not going to teach you these things.
It doesn't.
They're not. And so how do you pay your child through your business? Okay, you got to sit down with your tax preparer, because there is a way that I believe it's like under $12,000 a year. As long as you make sure that they don't earn over $12,000 a year, you can pay your children. Okay, but talk to your tax professional, because I don't want to give you the wrong number.
Right.
But I believe the last I read and talked to someone about, I believe it's $12,000 a year. And we have to get to a point where we're not afraid to have these conversations. Guess what? You would much rather somebody come to you and say that they just don't know than to sit there acting like they know it all and be sitting in ignorance, right?
Absolutely.
It's really worse for us to sit and not want to know versus just say, you know what, I don't know.
I love when a
Right.
client calls me and say, "Hey Maya, I'm interested in buying, but I don't know anything. I don't know where to start." I'm like, "Thank you for your honesty, and hey, well, let's sit down, let's have a consultation, because I'm gonna hold your hand throughout this process."
And she does.
Because oftentimes we just don't know. And I will say, Nina, you were actually someone that taught me about the ways that you can leverage your business and be able to write off taxes, because that's something that at that point in time my tax preparer didn't ask me. I had to offer that information. And that's the other thing too. We hire individuals, but we also have to educate ourselves, right?
Right.
So that's how I'm like, well, no, I have a side, I have a business,
Right.
a home-based
Right.
business. So let me write this off. And that
Yes.
was able to help me. So thank you for that.
Whether you make any money or not from your home-based business, you still have the write-offs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people don't understand. I'm like, you need this home-based business. You still get tons of write-offs, even if you don't make any income.
Yeah.
You still are responsible for the upkeep of your business.
You're still paying monthly fees. Some of the things that are associated with having a business.
Just having a business.
You're able to write that off.
And they actually give you so many years.
Years before you get 5 years before you have to even earn any income to really we're just trying to educate y'all, right? Like 5 years
I love it.
before if you're not making any money, you get 5 years before you got to even report most of you get 5 years. All right. So we also had a conversation. What I want you to understand is not just Maya. She's not just a realtor. She actually does care. I saw that in some of the comments. But Maya is also an expert at helping people relocate. And we had a conversation, you guys, in the car where I was like, well, you need to get a kit and you need to have like this, and this is in your area. And this is here are the people that, know, here, because those are things that people need to know. Where are the storage areas? What are the hospitals in my area? What are the schools in my area? Because one of the things, if you've got a parent that's relocating, they're going to want to know some of those things. Well, what are the schools? What are the hospitals? I'm going to need to know the closest hospital to where I live. Where's the best pizza place near me? Because, let's face it, right? Those are some of the things. If you've got smaller children, what are some of the options for daycare, aftercare? And I encouraged Maya to get a little, have your assistant create some packages for your relocating customers, because I asked her a lot of questions.
She did. She asked a lot of questions. And I just thank you for that, because that is helping my business and helping me, be more value added to my clients, as I like to be a resource to my clients or to anyone. I like to be a resource and bless individuals. And like you said, when you first move to an area, it can even be overwhelming. So anything that I could do to help that transition, even after you close and after you move, anything that I could do, like you said, even doctors. I've had clients ask me about doctors in the past.
Who's the gynecologist? Women want to know. Can you refer me to a gynecologist?
And I have people ask me that all the time, even people that's not just my friends and stuff, like, hey, Maya, do you know OBGYN? I think because people see me as the expert of Atlanta, because I am in real estate. So again, thank you for that. Nina is definitely value added. Okay, you want her to be your friend, okay? Because she gonna challenge you to be better and to be the best at your business. So thank you for that.
So this has been great. I know we're a little bit longer than we normally go, but I think that this is valuable information. As a matter of fact, I know that this is valuable information. This is information that I wish that I had before I started. My side businesses back in 2008, I had no clue. I was just ghetto, just ignorance on fire, knowing that I was broken. I needed to do something more. Even in the salons, you guys, no one ever educated me on some of the things I needed to do tax-wise, and things like that. And I got into a little bit of a little jam. Thank God it wasn't huge, because it wasn't I wasn't rich in the salons. I was really just doing okay. But I got in some jams because I wasn't properly educated on what to do when it came to my taxes, what to do when it came to, wanting to live. We made a decision. We knew what we wanted. We knew how long we wanted to be, wherever we were. We knew when we moved here to Georgia, I don't know if I really want to stay in that house for a really long time. So we made some decisions based on what we discussed, which is why it's important to sit down. But I want you, before we end, if someone is interested in purchasing a home, can you give them a few tips on what they need to do before? Well, they need to go talk to somebody, but give them some tips on what they should be looking at, should they do, and then at
Sure.
the end, make sure you let everybody know where to find you.
Okay.
Because I know a couple of people on here that's like looking to relocate here too, so
Okay.
let them know where to find you.
So one of the things I would do is start saving as much as I can. As much as you can, save as much as you can. Things that you don't need, extra subscriptions that you have to Netflix and to whatever you're not using. If it's what's
Get rid of
the
cable.
series, the car radio,
Oh,
XM,
Sirius XM.
Sirius.
Get rid of cable altogether.
Get rid
though.
of that. I have
You can watch
clients who start getting their
digital
nails
TV.
done, and they just go into doing the
Pop on, press on.
the press on nails. Save as much as you can. Make sure that you are making your payments on time. That is something that really affects your credit history, is making your payments on time. You spoke about credit utilization. Try to get it below 30% is what I've been taught. So that is a great way to go about it. As far as if you're going to be looking at relocating, start doing your research on the areas as well. One of the other things to do too is, I would say, just reach out to a real estate agent in your area. Because once you reach out to a real estate agent, we're able to help you better come up with a strategic plan with your move. And like I stated before, when you're able to speak with a lender about the pre-approval process, we can all work together, the three of us, or if it's a couple, the four of us will work with a plan to strategically get you into your home, whether it's purchasing or renting with the option to purchase at the end of your lease. So those are some of the things that I would definitely suggest that you do. If you have something that you can pay off, don't go buy anything major. If you are planning to purchase a house within the next year, don't go buy a car if you don't have to. Don't start, just adding things to your credit. Don't go buy new furniture. Just wait till you move. As you do want to be able, the more that you add to your credit, the more your debt to income ratio increases, which then changes the amount of home that you can afford. So you want to be able to at least get approved for the maximum amount. Now you may decide, I don't want, $400,000 house. I just want to spend $200,000. But when you make those decisions, you're at least able to have that option to where sometimes if you max out your credit abilities, it may be the difference between you getting a house for, $150 or a house for $180. So those are some of the suggestions that I have for individuals. If you would like to talk to me, and I do help individuals who do not live in Atlanta, I can help connect you with a real estate agent in your area. My Instagram is MayaShows_homes. That's MayaShows_homes. That is my Instagram. Facebook is Maya Shows Homes. My phone number is 404-850-5001. Again, 404.
Yeah, say it a little slower because somebody
Okay.
will type it in for you. Kenny Wilson's gonna type it in for you. She always does. So
Okay.
go ahead and say it a little slower.
So my Instagram again.
No, go ahead and say it all again.
Okay, so
all right, she
Maya-
got that.
Yes,
All
you
right,
have that.
Maya
Thank you so much.
Shows_homes. Our Instagram is there.
And phone number is 404-850-5001. And we would just schedule a time for a quick 15-minute chat so I could find out how I can assist you with your real estate needs. I also help investors, individuals who are looking to sell your home. I also help you guys maximize your return with investors. I help you with deciding the best area to purchase in. There has been some changes with Airbnb, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day.
Yes.
But I can definitely assist you as well, even flippers.
Even flippers. So there
Thank
you go.
Thank you so much, Lena. I'm so excited I was able to come on here with you all.
Yes. So you guys listen, you know that we're here to educate, encourage, inspire, motivate, and you know what? And help us all honestly sometimes just look in the mirror, because on Tuesdays with the Morer experience, I believe that there's no way that we can live a life of Morer unless we're able to confront some of the areas that are in our lives that are not so perfect. And we've got to stop feeling like that we've got to be perfect, or that we've got to hide behind a facade or a front if that's really not who we are, right? We've lived under those pressures for long enough. you know, under the hair, and you know, we real people and all and all that. And I think that we've got to learn to get back to that space and that time where we're okay with not living a filtered life. And so on Tuesdays when we're here on the More Experience, it really is about being able to live a life of more. And I believe that it starts with being educated and not living a life of ignorance, and putting ourselves in position to be around the right kinds of people. Make sure that you're spending some time around people that challenge you, and don't take it offensively when somebody suggests that, hey, maybe if you did this a different kind of way, that you could see a different kind of result, right? Don't be offended by it. Be in position to want to receive from people. And I only share things with Maya from a marketing perspective, and from some of the things that I knew that I wanted, because this was a major, and I've made other major moves. The difference was when I left Philadelphia before and moved to Virginia, the military, I was, you know, my first marriage, and I was married to somebody in the military. They handle everything for you. It's very different.
Yeah, they do have relocate. They actually relocate you.
They relocate you, right? So you don't have to think about what they send the people to pack you. If you don't throw your garbage away, they'll pack the trash, right? No, seriously, they pack everything.
They may pack you right.
They may pack right. They send packers. They send people to deliver your stuff. You do have to unpack it, but it's very different. They ship your car. Like, it's everything is you. You don't have to think. But when you're doing this on your own, whether you're in state, whether you're moving to another state, it's a bigger deal. So you want to think about things like, should I sell all my furniture?
Yeah.
Or should I pay to ship it? You might want to sell everything, because it might cost you tons more, especially if you've had the stuff for a long time, or maybe it won't even fit the decor of your, you know, of your new place.
Oftentimes you move into a new place, you want to buy something new anyway. So I thought that was very smart of Nina when you did your sales and everything. She would FaceTime me and say, "Look, Maya, I'm selling this stuff." I'm like, okay, it's really getting real. But that also allowed you to be able to change your decor. You like to shop, you like to decorate. Some of you all may have been privy of being to her new home. It's absolutely beautiful. And y'all seen the peaks of it via lives and everything, but that does allow you the opportunity to buy something new as well and not have to tap into your moving money.
Right. That's so important.
Or your savings.
Yeah, you guys got to think about the broader scheme of things. And also, we knew that we still had a whole lot of stuff to move, and that would have been like a $20,000 bill. So you want to think about all of those things when you're looking to move. It is not just a notion. And for those of you who want to relocate, it's an even more bigger deal, because there are a lot of things that you got to think about. Community, you know, when you're leaving everything that you know to go into a new place, you got to think about community. You got to think about, you know, are you putting yourself in a position or an area where you can meet other people? You cannot move to Georgia thinking you're going to be on public transportation. Do you have a car? No, you do. You have a reliable car at that. Right. You're going to need reliable
everything
transport.
Is 45 minutes to an hour away, like people say.
Everything in Georgia. You got to know when to drive around in Georgia. And so you guys, we hope that this helped you to think beyond, what you see. If you've got questions for Maya, reach out to her. You can find Jasmine Blake on Instagram. She's Jasmine Blake, right, on Instagram as well. Because guess what? She actually handles business accounts, small business accounts. That is her expertise, small business accounts. And I'm certain that she's on vacation. It's a good week to reach out to her, because once she goes back to work, she may not be able to answer all of your questions, right? But you guys stay tuned. Make sure that you're subscribing to the Mora Experience. Make sure you subscribe to Nina R. Mora, right? Subscribe, share, right? And tag somebody, because you never know what kind of information we're going to give you on Tuesdays. And so don't you ever forget that no matter what you're going through in life, that you can live again, you can laugh again, you can hope again, you can dream again, and you most certainly can bling again. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Bye now.